What's up YouTube? Anything Billy here. On today's video, we're going to be replacing front brakes and a rotor on this 2004 Toyota Tacoma. So let's get started. So tools you'll need for this job is, like always, a straight screwdriver, a 17mm wrench and a 17mm socket and ratchet, a piston compression tool, and no job is complete without a hammer. So this side over here, I'm just going to be putting brakes on. This rotor is good. It's the other side that needs the rotor replaced. This Toyota is a little different than most because you have to take the whole hub assembly off in order to replace the rotor on it. So this side will be pretty much just taking the brakes off and putting the brakes on. If I run into an issue, like always, I'll stop and address it. The reason why I say you'll need a wrench is because the socket won't fit up here because of the brake line, but hopefully I can take this apart and just flip it up on this side, but you'll definitely need this on the other side. And then you'll need a 14mm to take these bolts out to get this hub assembly off on the other side. But I'll explain more when I get over there to the other side. Oh, and like always, make sure you take the cap off the brake reservoir, put a rag over it, so it'll be easier for the air to escape when you push in the pistons. And you'll probably need a light for this job as well. I just done this brake job like 2 years ago. So she either rides the brakes or it's been about 22,000 miles. Alright, so that would work barely, just enough to go up, because these brakes here are about 25-30%, where the other ones are metal to metal. Yep. You may have a caliper issue, but I won't know that until we get everything done. Let's see, does that move? Okay. Ah. I mean, I could just like, you can do it like that, just pull it out. It don't give you much room. We'll just flip it over here. Make sure we lubricate the slides real good. I don't have my brakes yet, so I have to wait till they get here, but let's see this. It's going in okay. Not as smooth as I would like it to, but it's not too bad. Alright. So now let's grab some lubrication. Okay. Lubricate the top. And we'll go ahead and just slide this right back in there. Yeah, that feels better. Get it really good lubricated. Now, I have to wait on the brakes for the other one, so we'll go ahead and lubricate this side. Go and stick it back in here. Feels good. Alright. So now we'll just wait on the brakes. So I'm back. It's been a while since I've worked on this thing, so like I've always said in the past, if you do any work, make sure you go back and redo it. But you really have to watch this. I just run into a situation is they sent me the wrong pads. These Toyotas come either with 5 lug or 6 lug, so you got to make sure you tell the part store, if it's a 5 or a 6, well, they sent me the right rotor for a 5 lug, but they sent me the brakes for a 6 lug. So I had to go back and get the brakes for the 5, and they are the right ones. So now we can go ahead and put this driver's side together. Remember, I've already lubricated the slides and all that stuff, so we're just putting the pad back on there. I've already pushed in the piston. These don't come with hardware, even though they're gold. They do not come with hardware, which is very weird. I really hope I don't have to take this off. Perfect. Slide right into place. The little groove goes in the groove here. The groove goes in the groove there. Yep. Come on now. There, that's how we go. Groove there, groove there, groove there, groove there. Yep. All right. All right. All right, just snug up the bottom one. We didn't take the top one loose. Now, but we'll have to do all that on the other side over there because we got to replace the rotor. So let's go over here and let's tackle the passenger side. Whatever you do to these studs, don't put any kind of anti-seize, don't put any kind of oil, don't put none of that stuff on there. If they're rusty, get a wire brush or a drill brush and clean them off, because when you put anti-seize or any kind of oil on there, they won't torque right. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that in a different video. I probably have, but don't do that. Just just clean them off with a wire brush. That is a very misconception on people who want to put anti-seize on there thinking, well, they won't rust. But no, over time that stuff will harden, and it's very hard to torque it at the right torque. So that means that you'll under torque it, which means that the lug nuts could back off and could tire fall off. So let's don't do that. Use a wire brush or a wire drill head to clean off the lug nuts. Now we're moving on. Definitely going to now move on to the passenger side. Alright, so now we're over here on the passenger side. This is the more of a complicated one. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the caliper bracket, and then we're going to move the whole hub assembly here. And that way, just to get to the rotor here. So first we'll take this off. This is where that 17mm wrench is going to come into effect, because you'll have to have it to take it apart. Loose. Get your 17mm. Okay. You don't have to have it. We'll just done like we done the last one. We'll just pick it up and slide it out like this. There we go. That makes it easier. Now, set it here to the side, out of the way. Maybe. Should be good right there. Well, you don't have to move it out of the way, because we don't have to take this bracket off. So there we go. Should be good out of the way now. This should be the same size. Yep. So the bracket bolts are a 17. Let's see, this is 17. Yes, so the bracket bolts are 17.2. Go for it. Alright, now that the bracket and everything's off, we can turn the wheel this way. Don't let that fall. Put it right there. You'll have to. Now, stick this right here. It should sit right there. So now that you got the caliper, bracket, and everything off, you want to get this cap off right here. Take a screwdriver, stick it behind it, and then just easy work around it. Just work the screwdriver around. Yep, you got to take all this off next. Next you want to take the cotter pin off, which I'm going to have to go get some more tools. Alright, so use your pair of pliers to straighten out this cotter pin here. I don't have another one, so we'll have to use it again. Go. Just get it as straight as you can. And just tap it back through. Ease it out the easiest you can. Set that down over here. Best thing to do is like set all this on a rag. That way you don't, the less contaminated the better. And you take this, slide this right off. Set it down there. Then you're gonna have to find you a big socket to take that off. Let me go grab one. Alright, so once you get the cotter pin and the castle nut, which is this thing right here, or whatever you want. This castle nut crown thing, you want to take this nut out right here. It is I'm using a 1 1/4. They don't have to be very tight. They just snug up. You see, that is a little bit loose on there, but they ain't that much torque. So once you get that loose, you want to take a 14 millimeter and take out these 5 bolts right here. That's what holds the steer knuckle on. Or not the steer knuckle, but the wheel cylinder. I'll switch that in a minute. So once you got them loose, because that's what holds the caliper to this, now you want to take this off. Make sure you wear gloves and be really careful and try not to get that less contaminated. As soon as you take it off, just lay it back down so you can put it back on. There is a groove right here that this slides into, so you can mess it up, but you can't. You can just slide this right off. Watch out for that bearing to fall. Pick it up and set it right down on your rag. Now take all of this off. It's got a good coating of grease on there, so we'll leave it alone. So grab the caliper, so grab your rotor and the wheel. Kind of slide it on there together. The wheel bearing, and just kind of slide it back on there. And then get your bearing. Slide it back on there. You can see that groove right there. The groove right there goes in the groove on top right here. Slide it back into place. Grab your nut you took off. Stick it back on there. Same way you took it off. Snug it on there with your hands. You just want everything snug. And I got some extra wheel bearing grease in case I need it, but this is pretty packed, look pretty good. Ain't got no contaminations or anything on it. So now what you want to do is you want to line up the rotor with the wheel bearing. At least get one of the bolts started. So the least amount of time this wheel bearing stays unexposed, the better. So you don't want to get very little dirt on that, because they will roar. So once you get all of your 514s put back on the caliper or the rotor, and you want to snug them up, just kind of work them in. You don't want to do them all at one time. Just start a few of them. Alternate. Once you got all 5 of them snug, then you can grab your 1 1/4 and snug this up. Just want to snug it up, give it a good, you want to turn it, see if you hear any noises. Don't hear any noises, so that means that I didn't get no trash. Like I said, this is just snugged up. Okay, that should be good. Don't want to over tighten it. Okay. Then you want to take your castle nut, lace it back on there. Line up them grooves where the cotter pin goes. Take your cotter pin, stick it back through the hole. And it's okay to take something and just tap it in. Where the hammer comes in at. Then take your pliers and take the big end or the little end, whichever one you can get a hold of, and just bend it. Just bend it like that. That way it don't come back out. So now, everything's still good. Then you want to take this cap and you want to take it back on there. Best thing to do is make sure it's even. See, I don't have it even, so it won't go on there unless it's even. I'm going to find my screwdriver to bring it back out. Probably the hardest part is to get this even. Around to make sure it's all the way on there. What that does is that keeps road debris and ground from getting into the bearing. Now we can put the caliper bracket back on. I keep spinning just to make sure I don't hear anything. Alright. Put this out of the way. What we can do is we can Alright, we're going to have to move so I can see what I can't see. Make sure you clean off what you can. Now, you put the bracket back on. The bracket has these washers on them, so you kind of can't get them mixed up. Let's see here. I'll be able to see if I can get it on there. Bottom one. There's the top one. Got to clean off what grease you can. We can put the brake pads on. what the deal is here. What the heck? Okay. Just wouldn't hold my mouth right, I reckon. Alright, so now the tin are in there. Let's grab and lubricate this top slide, since we didn't take it off. Good coat. We want to stick it in here. Right. Push in the piston. Now, here's the problem. Here's what's been causing the problem the whole time. This caliper here will not go back in. Sometimes it won't go back in because it's all the way out. There we go. I just wasn't in the right angle. It's going in nice now. About the same resistance as the other side. Okay. Right. Now that that's done, stick the top back in. The freak in hell just happened. Okay. Just be careful, that thing comes flying out there. So grab the other slide. Put grease on it. Put it in the bottom. Okay. Alright, so there's that done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cap back on the brake reservoir, and I'm going to get somebody to go in there and pump the brakes. That way they can hold this so I can tighten these bolts up a little bit. So now what you want to do is you want to take the 14 millimeter and just snug up all these bolts. You don't want them to fall off. Because this is what holds the rotor in place. Just make sure you go around them. That's it. Let off. Hit. Now let's put the wheel back on. Just hold them, please. Yes, this was probably one of the dirtiest ones I've done, because you got to mix that grease. Alright, only thing left to do is to torque the wheels and take it for a test drive. Alright, welcome back to another test drive. We're in this 2004 Toyota Tacoma. So the first thing you want to do after you wash up is, I've already pumped the brakes on it, but just pump them a few more times. We'll start it up, buckle up for safety, and back it out of the garage. Make sure the e-brake's off, and here we go. So this test drive is the same but different. Well, hold on, let me get out of here. Got the air compressor and everything else going. So this test drive is a little different, but it's the same. Since I took the wheel bearing off, now we got to listen to see if we hear, besides grinding and squeaking, now we got to listen to see if we hear any extra noise, to make sure that I didn't let any dirt get into the wheel bearing. And trust me, you'll be able to tell if you got dirt into the wheel bearing, because it will make a screeching noise from Hades. But so far, I don't hear nothing. So far, so good. Also, while you're on a test drive, we're just going to make sure that everything's on pretty good, that the wheels ain't going to fall off. I torqued the front, my daughter torqued the back. This thing feels a little sketchy anyway, because it's got little bitty tires on it. But so far, everything feels good. This truck ain't made for speed anyway. So far, I don't feel any vibration. The wheel bearing's not making any noise. The brakes are not squeaking. I don't hear any grinding. All right, temperature's up now. After this pothole that I need to come fix. All right, let's get this up to about 60 miles an hour and see if I hear any wheel bearing. No wheel bearing noise. No vibration in the pedal or in the steering wheel when you hit the brakes. That is an excellent sign. Don't feel that that means that nothing has fallen apart. Everything's got good and tight. Oh yeah, that's nice. Because normally a wheel bearing, once it goes bad, the faster you get, the louder it gets. And some of them squeak too. There was had a Ford Fusion that come into the shop that it didn't roar, it squeaked. The faster it got, the louder it squeaked. So far, everything is pretty smooth. So as I turned on to the road that the shop is on, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. Like I've always said, I hope my videos are educational. I hope somebody gets something out of it. Maybe you want to change your brakes and you're kind of skeptical about, because you got to take the wheel bearing off. But as you can see, just take everything off and put it right back on the same way you took it off. Make sure you don't get it contaminated. If you do mess it up, just wipe it off and buy new grease. So if you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell at the bottom of the page so you will never miss an upload. So until then, bye now.